Hello, this is Jim Roberts. I'm host of Senior Living in Alexandria. We're once again here on our monthly program that we do devoted to seniors, but I always add it's not just seniors, but any family, friends, caregivers, service providers, those who in our community that are interested in working with seniors. We've got another exciting show for you today, and I'm extremely pleased to have Daryl Wesley with me. He's the program director. He's got a lot of functions, but he's settled on the title of program director for the Adult Day Services Center in Alexandria, and his job is here to tell us a little bit today, but it's also a preface to our March 18th speaker series, which will be on caregiving. Daryl will be one of the featured panelists on that, and we're looking forward to that. But we want to learn a little bit more about Adult Day Services in Alexandria for seniors. So welcome, and really glad to have you here.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, pleasure.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about your background. How long have you been doing this, and how did you get into working with Adult Day Services? How'd that come about?
A friend of mine asked me to work weekends with him in a residential intellectual disability facility, and I helped him out on the weekends and found myself since I'm a people person, just like to be around folks. And at that time, I started looking for a full-time job and landed at an adult day program in Washington, D.C., and that was in 1990. And 26 years later, here I am.
Now, so you were doing the 24-hour service on the weekend as a volunteer?
No, I was doing part-time, just helping out a friend, 8 hours a day.
8-hour shift?
Yeah, 8-hour shift.
That's quite a commitment, but 24 hours that takes your weekend and your life.
Oh, yes.
To do that.
Oh, yes.
It's a lot of
I couldn't do
dedication.
that.
How long have you been with the Adult Day?
I've been there a little over 12 years,
Okay.
and it's just been a wonderful 12 years. Wonderful staff, wonderful people, and wonderful community.
How's the job changed? What have you learned over that?
Just that folks are probably declining more, or more people, I guess the baby boomers are coming, so you have more people needing more assistance or having more impairments. So you just see a lot of more people now.
Is that because there's more of us that are aging and therefore a bigger population to draw from, and therefore has the need increased?
The need has increased, but also I think with the healthcare system as a whole, we go see our doctors and we try to, I guess, fix everything with a pill, but you need other things like people, places to go, socialization, establish friendships. So I think as a whole, we need more than just the doctor to help us.
Yeah. I think one of the themes that comes through this series of programs is that the number of different kinds of types of help, and therefore organizations and people that do it, and so Adult Day Services clearly would fit within that. Tell us about what are I'm sure everybody has an idea, but how do you define Adult Day Services? What is that?
Well, we provide services for seniors 55 and older, primarily, and that may have some cognitive, emotional, or physical impairments. So they need assistance. Also socialization. They may be cognitively okay, but cannot live alone at home. So they need some type of day program to come to stimulate them mentally, cognitively, and physically, and have a socialization as well.
So let me be sure I'm clear on the criteria. 55 years old, have to have some kind of cognitive impairment. Are there other requirements or standards that you might?
Yeah, cognitive or physical or emotional.
Physical, okay.
Right. So if someone had a stroke and they went to rehabilitation, and was going through physical therapy, after physical therapy ends, they still may need some more assistance. So at our program, we're exercising. You have that socialization with peers that can motivate you, and the staff also will motivate you and inspire you to keep going and not get down on yourself in a way.
Where is the center located?
It's located in Old Town Alexandria, but on the far end, almost near the 495 exit, located in the Lee Center.
In the Lee Center.
Yes.
And do you have exclusive use of that for your facilities, or what else goes on there?
Well, you have other programs in there. It's primarily a recreation administration, City of Alexandria Recreation Administration building. You may have soccer there. You have trainings the public and community can rent the auditorium, or downstairs in the exhibit hall, which is a big hall. They can have parties and other type of functions there.
Do you have exclusive space, or are you sharing that with others? And if you have an event, do you have space you can conduct?
No, we have exclusive space,
Okay.
but we can utilize the other parts of the building. But our space is our space.
Do you have other facilities in Alexandria, or is that the local?
Yes, just the only one in
Okay.
Alexandria.
And what's your capacity? How many people can you handle?
Well, we are licensed by the Department of Social Services, so you can only have what they deem you can have. So at our capacity at this time is 24.
Okay. And
24 people per day, I'm sorry.
What kind of staffing is there?
6-to-1 ratio, so we basically have at least 6 staff today.
Is that fixed by program standards, or that just happened to be what it is? Or
Program standards and what the city of Alexandria and our department will like for safety, for socialization, for the impact of stimulating and motivating folks when they come.
is there unmet need? I mean, 24 is a good population, but are there people that, because of the limits, you're just not able to get to that you'd like to be able to?
Well, we can, but now let me clarify something. It's 24, the capacity is 24 people per day. However, some people may come 2 days a week, up to 5 days a week. So
Okay.
you have that option. So
Okay.
we don't have everyone coming 5 days a week. So
Okay.
if you just come 2 days a week, 3 days a week, then we can have more people.
What's the
service
staff
more
breakdown?
people.
What are the skills or the backgrounds of those?
Well,
those
we have
folks?
a wonderful, dynamic, and dedicated staff. They've been committed. Average service for each staff is probably about 10 years. We have a therapeutic recreation manager, 4 to 5 therapeutic leaders, a registered nurse, all full-time, and myself, and a social worker who's a part of our division, come once a week to provide services and resources for.
When somebody comes to the center, is there a typical period of time in which they're involved with the center, or a limit on what they can come for?
Well, we like you to be there 5 to 6 hours a day, because that's
Okay.
the bulk of the program, from basically 9:30 to 3:30, 4 o'clock. We have a variety of activities, host of entertainers that come, but we also want you to come early to get involved with exercise, which is one of my pet peeves. I want you to get in exercise, movement, and we start the day off with some breakfast. We have 3 nutritional meals of breakfast, catered lunch, and a light snack in the afternoon. So we really want you to start early in the morning between 9 and 9:30, and I would say 3 to 3:30 and leave, so it's a 6-hour day. Some folks, though, depending on the family's working, they may be there from 8 o'clock until almost 5 o'clock. So that's a long
Is
day.
it required that you spend that amount of time there, or is that discretionary?
It's discretionary. You don't have to
Okay.
spend that much time.
Okay. We're going to have to take a break, so we want to come back and deal with some of the services, as also how people find out about the center and take advantage of it after we come back from the break. We're going to have another interesting piece of program for our viewers,
Okay.
But they certainly want to hear from you. So we'll be back.
All right.
Join Meals on Wheels in the 15th Annual March for Meals to celebrate the seniors in our communities and the ways we can all support them. For the month of March, all across the country, communities will join together to take a stand for the millions of seniors struggling with hunger and isolation. Meals on Wheels is a proven collaboration of local community organizations, businesses, all levels of government, and more than 2 million dedicated volunteers. Together, we deliver the nutritious meals, friendly visits, and safety checks that are often all it takes for our seniors to remain in their own homes, where they want to be. And by doing so, we save billions of dollars in nursing facilities, hospitals, and healthcare costs. The 2017 March for Meals promises to be our greatest campaign ever, with more participating communities, more national attention, and a greater focus on the issue, and what each of us can do to keep our senior neighbors more nourished and healthy. So join the march. Celebrate March for Meals in your own way. Donate what you can. Hold a fundraising event so others can give. Speak out to elected officials, or join the dedicated army of volunteers who are committed to making sure that our senior neighbors are not forgotten. March with us.
Hi, I'm Seal Garrett. I'm the Executive Director of At Home in Alexandria. We call ourselves AHA for short, and that's AHA with an exclamation point. We are pleased to be one of the organizations here in the city of Alexandria proudly serving our older citizens. AHA is a village, and a village is a nonprofit group that has come together in its community to help our older citizens stay at home, living at home, and in the community they love for as long as they can. So we have volunteers who provide practical support to our members, and that can be rides to the grocery store, to the doctor's office, or to any place they like to go, the hair salon, or errand running. That's another popular request that we get from our members. We can do home maintenance, a little bit of handyman work if you need that. We want to make sure that you're staying safe in your home. And we can do short-term pet care. We can do IT support if you're trying to figure out how that new iPad works, or you're trying to get your printer to talk to your computer, or you got a new TV and you're trying to get that set up. Things are a lot more complicated than they used to be technically. We've got some wonderful volunteers who are pretty good at troubleshooting with those kinds of things. We do a number of volunteer things. We can do snow shoveling when you need it. We can do short-term lawn watering, or watering your plants if you're away on a trip. There's just a number of things that our volunteers are happy to do to keep you safe and feeling confident in your home. To be a member of a village like ours, you would pay an annual membership fee, and for our village, that fee is $550 for a single person or $800 for a household. We also have a subsidized membership program for those who really want to have the experience of a village but have a limited income. So we hope you'll ask us about that as well. We also have a social membership for those who want to take part in the wonderful 120 plus social events that we have each year, but that you're just not quite ready for the practical support. And so with a donation of $250, you can become a social member of our village, AHA, and most of that is tax deductible. So if you want to be part of a group that has a walking club, a bridge club, a history club, an opera club, and a number of other fun groups that really love to get together and share experiences and support one another socially and emotionally, a village could really be a wonderful solution for you to help you live more comfortably in your home here in Alexandria. We support one another. Our volunteers love working with our members. Our volunteers are vetted. They are put through a thorough background check, and they are trained, and we continue to have training for our volunteers. We can do anything that a good neighbor can do, and we'll hope that you'll call us and make that call. It's a one-stop shop is what we call ourselves. You make a call, and if there's a way we can do it, we'll do it. The way to reach us here at Home in Alexandria, AHA, is to call us at 703-231-0824 or email us at AHA, that's AHA, at homeinalexandria.org. You can use that same address, www.athomeinalexandria.org, to visit our website and learn more about us. So thanks. Hope to hear from you.
And we're back. I'm here today having a conversation with Daryl Wesley at the Adult Day Services Center in Alexandria, and we're going to learn more about what exactly they do. But so far we've learned that it's a place where seniors can go and can get both social as well as physical and emotional support on a flexible schedule on a day-long visit. So Daryl, welcome back, and we're here. Tell me a little bit about the range of services that are provided. What you mentioned that there's food, but what other things? What else goes on there?
Well, the main component is trying to have socialization and activities throughout the day. But like I said earlier, we have a registered nurse who can check your vital signs, just overall health and wellness, and talk to you if you're feeling depressed or anything, and give you some medication administration education on that.
What other services? So you mentioned recreation. Are there site visits? Do you go out and travel? Are there field trips? Are there craft projects? Are there, obviously you mentioned exercise, food. What's the range of things?
Well, we do have arts and crafts. We do take daily trips, not daily trips, I'm sorry, trips through around the area. Call them just day trips, and we can go to the museums. We may go to a play, just a riding tour through DC, or that's
when you talk about socialization, what problem does that solve? What about the senior population? Why that's a good thing to have?
Well, socialization brings out a purpose for someone to talk to someone, their peers. I think it makes feel like they're not alone. They're not idle and just starting to be shut in, and so it helps bring out their personality more.
Who are these folks? Are they folks that live alone? They live independently? They live in group housing? They live in senior housing? Socialization means that they're not in a social setting, and therefore this provides that. But where do they come from?
All of above. Some live alone. I would say about 50 to 70% live with family members or have a family member in close vicinity. Because if they need assistance in some part of their daily life, if it's bathing, eating, taking care of their financial concerns, you just need someone close. So
the alternative would be that they could get services in their home or wherever they are, or do without, which would not be good. But how? And you've got a kind of a handful that do that with seems like layered services. How do you identify who does that? How do they find you? How do you make the connection? And then more, how do you evaluate whether they should receive these services? Well,
we do outreach. Our department or division do outreach as well. But I will go out in the community, talk to colleagues, go to rehabilitation centers. We hold seminars, be part of an exhibitor at a conference. So we try to get the word out that way. And then you can give us a call or go to our website, City of Alexandria website, input Adult Day Services Center, and it should pop up. And then I will ask you to come with yourself, the person potentially coming to the program, and your family member to come on a day. We can do a tour and an assessment. The assessment takes about an hour to an hour and a half, and that would be myself, the registered nurse, and sometimes the activity director.
It sounds like most of it would be a minority that self-identified. That a family member, a caregiver, a doctor, a minister, somebody says, there's a need and I know about the center. It's more by way of referral. Does that sound right?
Yes. Yes.
Are there any self-referrals? I need this, I think this is something
It
I have
is
to use?
because we do offer through the City of Alexandria transportation. So a lot of times other folks in senior high-rise buildings or in the neighborhood or neighbor or churches or somewhere, they will see the bus and see people getting on. So they'll look at the number, call the number, and that's how they get in touch with us as well.
Is it, you mentioned transportation. That's something I wanted to ask about. How does that work?
Well,
Once you're enrolled,
yeah, well, when we do the tour and an assessment, we'll try to specifically get everything you need, all the services that you need, so we can provide that. So if you need, some people do not need transportation. They have loved ones or family members to bring them in and pick them up. So we'll ask you that during the process, the tour and assessment process. And if you do, then we'll have you complete forms, internal forms, plus you have to go to the doctor and get a TB test and a physical from your primary physician. And then we will touch base with the City of Alexandria to see if that application for transportation can get approved.
when I first started learning about this, it hit me that this was paralleled by child daycare, preschool. And that, it turns out, to me, serves two functions, and I'm curious if it's the same. That is, parents need to go to work and they need somebody to take care of the kids at home. Your adult daycare could serve that function, but I'm also hearing it's far more than that. There's a therapy aspect or a personalized service aspect. Is that correct?
That is
Understanding?
correct. However, I do not like to compare the two
Right.
because as we get older, for children, they learn it. It's a process of learning and continue to learn. For seniors, we've learned, and now we're at a point that we want to learn, but with sustain or continue that quality of life. So we want to keep our dignity and respect and stuff like that. So having to, I guess,
Not a good comparison?
Yes, just
Okay.
for me. That's
Okay.
that's for me. It's just not a good comparison. Just to give them their dignity. So most of the times, people will say in the public, adult daycare. I never say adult daycare. I say adult day services centers or adult day
good.
program. And our senior participant that comes, they've already given the center a name. It's called the club, and they are club members.
Okay.
So we don't really say daycare. Anyway.
How do you measure success? How do you measure results?
I will measure it by folks participating, the seniors participating, and engaging throughout the day. Starting from one point of improving from if they had a stroke, they're walking better, because a lot of people are high risk of falls, they're walking better. Or if they were depressed, now they're motivated, they're socializing, they're establishing friends. And the other piece to it is making sure that the caregiver stress level is reduced. And that's to help them. And if they appreciate our services that we're providing for them and they get involved somewhere, but they can work, don't have to worry about their loved ones, they're in a safe environment, that's a success.
Is there a limit for a period of time over which they can receive services?
I don't understand.
In other words, once enrolled, you can only be there 6 weeks, 6 months.
No,
It's
forever.
open-ended?
Oh, yes, forever. We had a person there the longest 10 years.
Really?
Yes, 10
Wow.
years. And had...
They may have graduated to be a faculty member.
and since you said graduated, we've had people improve so well that they have graduated. So they came in with some type of depression or just really mild memory loss where they would graduate. They improved over the year, 2 years, and graduated, functioning in society.
We're almost out of time. I have to ask, is there a charge?
It is a charge. It's based on a person's or a couple's income, and it's a sliding scale. And
Okay.
the sliding scale range at this moment currently is $5 a day to $61 per day.
That's a bargain,
Yeah, it is.
seems to me.
It is.
For a valuable
Oh,
service.
yes. Any other long-term care facility or entity, it's cost way more.
Yeah.
10 times
for
as much.
Professional assistance, a ratio
Yes.
of all that help for individualized. We're going to have to stop, unfortunately. However, this is not the last chance. As I mentioned at the top of the show, we've got the March 18th speaker series. You will be on the panel, and I'm
Yes.
sure that the viewers should come, but they can get another opportunity to hear more about this and also maybe to see if it would fit them or their family or meet their needs. So Really appreciate you giving us a snapshot of the program, and that's a lot of 12 years is a long time to be but as you mentioned, you're a people person, so
Yes.
sounds like you're having very useful work and having a good time.
Oh, yes.
So thank
That's
you
great.
very, very much.
Well,
Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me again.
Okay.